How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another weekly recap. This is actually, as sad as this sounds, the last weekly recap because, okay, so I should also say I'm not in China anymore if you haven't gathered that. I said that in the last two. Basically, as I've said, I don't know if people watch these like in order, but basically, the last 3 weeks in China, the third last I was on holiday, maybe the second last also, I can't really remember. And then the last was just, really hectic. I was outside every day. I was just focusing on socializing with friends, hanging out, and doing all that. So I couldn't film a weekly recap. Also, I believe the way I did it, if I'm not mistaken, it was like it's 29th of June. So I started on the Friday, and then I did until the 6th. Oh, I took until the 9th of June, so I did like... Wait, what? I did until the 10th, which is... Okay, it's like a week and a half. So yeah, this weekly recap is like a week and a half, because I'm not going to have the like 4 extra days, I want to cram in all of my time in China and explain it. And I'm not going to do like a half. So yeah, basically I'm back home in Denmark, sadly, and yeah, I'm going to explain what happened in my last week and a half, I guess, in China. Like I just said, I miss it very much, and yeah, let's go through what happened. I kind of wish I'd filmed this at the time, because it would be more, recent, and I'd have like better memory and it would be better, but at the same time, looking back on it now is also kind of cool. Because it's been... Also, I do apologize for releasing these really late. It's been like 3 months since this happened, which is just fucking ridiculous. Time goes so fast. But basically, had so much stuff happen. Started university, been busy. But yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. It's like, it's half excuses, half the truth, alright? Anyway. So, we will start. So, it's month 11, week 44. I woke up at 7, took my kid to school, ate breakfast, then I met my friend in Hangzhou to do this, again, rooftop. It was one we'd already done. It was like the bull, I wrote the bull rooftop. It was this roof that had like a huge bull on it. And then yeah, the weather was good. It was really hot though. It was like normal day, I guess. And then we went to the bull roof first. And then we decided going against it because we were going to go on the blue. There's these blue things. I actually have a photo. Maybe I'll put it here if I remember. There were these blue things on the roof that you could sit on, that you could take good photos, but there wasn't really a good angle to get a photo together. I did get a different photo, and then we didn't climb this ball contraption because it looked like it could have electricity in it, and I didn't really want to die. And then yeah, we went past the McDonald's, and I was like, oh, I could eat a McChicken. And then I said it, and then my friend was just like, oh my god, same. And then they only had breakfast menus, so that was pretty fucking shit, not gonna lie. Then we walked around the Hangzhou area, and oh shit, I think this was actually my last day roof-topping with my friend, because she was going home from China. So that's kind of shit. But yeah, we went around, looked for buildings with potential. We found one. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my computer screen. I'm trying to read the notes, alright? Sure. And yeah, we found one outside of the Tencent building with like a yellow roof. It had a good view of the Tencent one and like a nice drop. Maybe I'll share the photo. I haven't edited it yet, but I can share an unedited one, maybe. And there was no security except like a worker came at one point, but we didn't get spotted, so Did the roof successfully, came down, had a McChicken and a bubble tea from Dian. And then we ate and chilled at the Shenzhen Sports Center, which I've photographed a few times. Honestly, seeing other people's photos, I did not maximize that place to its fullest potential. It's a really beautiful like sports center. The architecture is amazing. And I wish I'd gotten more photos of that place. I went there like 3 or 4 times, but I could have done more, so that kind of sucks. But we went there and took some photos, and then a random security guy on a bike, I took photos of him as he was coming, because the bikes look really cool in the shadows and stuff. And then he came to complain, and I thought that he was pissed that I was taking photos of him, but then he told us we weren't allowed to take photos there, which, it makes no sense, because it's a public space. Like, what the you're not the boss. Like, what do you mean? It's a public, of course you can take photos there. But whatever. Left and went home. Picked up Ricky at 5 o'clock, and then both of his parents were working, and there was no eye. Oh, I remember this. There was no eye, so we had food delivered, and it was so good. We had like a bunch of different food from outside delivered. It was like glass noodles, these toasts, like sandwich thingies, and then fried rice. And the mum told me, share it with Ricky, make sure he gets some of everything. And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I'm not just going to steal the food. Of course I'm going to share it with him. I'm like, yeah, you know? But I made sure to share it, like, equally. So he got 50%, I got 50%. And not even joking, he ate everything except, like, a little bit less fried rice than me. But he ate everything else, and he's 5, like, and I was full. I don't understand how you can eat so much. It was crazy. I was just like, what the fuck? And then, yeah, we played around and we watched some stuff. Did like his English dub. He had to do this homework where there's a video and then you have to dub what it says, what the things say. It's like, yeah. It's hard to get him to do it. I think I've talked about it before. I think that day he was actually decent with it, so that was nice. And then we did some reading, and then his parents came home at 9, and I was around until like 9:30. And then after that I edited some photos and just did, you know, the boring usual stuff I do until like 1 a.m, which fucks my sleep. Alright, so then June 30th, I woke up at 9 a.m, played with Ricky and Barga in like this water. I'm using their names now, by the way, because I just stopped caring. Usually I would sort of like not use their names, but I don't, like, yeah, whatever. That's their names, my 2 kids' names, alright? They played in water on the balcony, and it was kind of cute. I sort of just watched it happen and like just chatted. I was chilling. And then for lunch we had food delivered, because again we had no nanny. And it was not as great as the dinner stuff, but it was still pretty good. Oh, this was actually really sad. I remember this very clearly. So Ricky was telling me something about 1 feet, and I was like, no, it's called 1 foot. And he's like, I disagree. I'm like, you can't disagree. And I was like, no. So I just kept correcting him, and then he broke down crying, and he was on the floor, full on crying. And I sort of just had a laugh, because it's like ridiculous. Oh wait. Okay, this is not sad. This is a different story. I thought this was something else. No, this was funny. Like, the other thing I had was like sad, but I think that's later maybe. But this was just funny. We were at the lunch, I thought this was after lunch. We were at the lunch table, and I kept correcting him, and then he broke down on the floor, full on crying, and I just had a shit-eating, I was just laughing at him, because he's being ridiculous. It was, like, whenever he cried, it didn't work on me. I'd just laugh at him. I think it's, like, if you're going to be stupid, I'm just going to have a laugh, you know? And his parents didn't know like 100% what was happening, other than they knew their son was being an idiot and I didn't do anything wrong. Like, they understood the context, but they didn't understand what was happening. So yeah, they were just crying, and I'm just like, But yeah, they understood that he was being an idiot, but they didn't have any clue why. They're just like, what the fuck's going on? And then, yeah, after lunch I went to my room, but I went downstairs to get something, I think, to drink or whatever. And then he was like, really angry with me. He's like, I don't like you. I'm like, sure, buddy. That's more than okay. And then, yeah, I edited some photos and stuff while he was asleep. And then he woke up and started demanding. Yeah, that was fucked up. He started demanding that we watch videos and did it in like this really bad and entitled tone. And I was like, fuck off. You don't demand shit from me. Getting to watch videos on my phone is like a luxury that you should not, I mean, we watch videos all the time, so it's not like it's a special occasion, but don't take that shit for granted. I do that because I'm nice, like, fuck you. So when he started demanding it, I was like, nice try, buddy. And then, yeah, I told him I was busy, and then he started crying, So I just left and went to my room again. I was like, I'm not dealing with your shit, fuck off. And then yeah, after we played in the parents' room, just messing around, we've also played like outside, like just the usual. And then we had dinner. Then we did the English dub homework and we went swimming. I actually enjoyed going swimming. I've talked about that a bit, but it happened, quite a few times. We'd go swimming for like an hour at a time, and it was chill and it was easy because you're just fucking chilling in the pool. Like, it was a good way to pass the time. It'd be like dinner, go swimming, time for bed. Like, yes. Yeah, and then I spent the rest of the night just editing photos and putting things on my friend's USB. And then, oh, this was so fucking awkward, I swear, dude. This was like funny. So I don't know if I've told you guys, but for context, the internet stopped working in my room and they couldn't fix it. They even sent a man out to fix it. And then I was like frustrated, so I was like, fuck, the internet doesn't work in my room. Whatever, I'll go down, I'll put my computer in the living room. It's okay, whatever, fuck this. And then I was like, at first I was kind of like, oh, what if it's annoying for my host parents? I'm always in the living room. But then I was kind of like, if they don't fix the problem, it's their problem. I mean, I do mind sitting in the living room because I don't have privacy and I have an annoying 5-year-old that bugs me. But like, I'm still going to do it. I need internet, So I would basically just live in the living room. Funny how that word like works, live, yeah. But yeah, I would just live in the living room and then, yeah. So I'm on the, every night, I think I've also said, like the last 2 months in China or so, I was out taking photos and climbing rooftops every day, come home, work, and then at 9 o'clock until like 1 a.m., I would be editing photos and stuff. So I went to bed late like every day and my sleep was fucked and it was hard, but I could sustain it because when you're outside, you're not as tired because you're constantly running around. It's when you're sitting in front of your computer, like right now, for example, if I wasn't filming this, like in the afternoon, you get tired. But yeah, I could actually sustain like 5 or 6 hours of sleep if I was just constantly outside doing something. But anyway, I was just giving context. So I'm sitting in the living room because I live there now. My room is useless. And then it's 12:30 a.m. and the door was locked because they always lock the door. Like that's more context. There's 2 doors. And both of them have an electronic code that you can type to open them. But even if you do that, there's a manual lock on the inside of the inner door that you can like turn, and then you're fucked. You can't, like, no counterplay. So every free day I would have to ask them, please do not lock the door. I want to be able to get in when I get home late at night. And every single time they would lock the door. So anyway, it's 12:30 at night and I haven't seen my host dad. I'm like, I saw her lock the door. I wonder what's happening. And then at 12:30, I just hear like the doorbell rings, and I'm like, I wonder who that is. So then I went and opened it, and I opened it instantly because I'm sitting in the living room, which is right next to the front door, So I just go over, open it, and then he just looks at me like I'm fucking stupid. I guess he expected. I mean, we didn't have an IE, so I guess he just expected his wife to open the door. But he's like, he sees me open the door, he's just like, the fuck? Why are you awake? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And yeah, so that was just dumb as fuck. And then yeah, I went to bed at 1 a.m. and I was tired. Normal day. And yeah, that was the 30th of June. Alright, so 1st of July. Woke up at 9, dead as usual. At least this is on a weekend though, so I can sleep till 9. Because on the other days, I'd go to bed at 1, sometimes 2. It was really bad. And then I would wake up at 7. So weekends were good because I got more sleep. Unless I got woken up early, which was not fun. And yeah. Ricky hit me and said sorry instantly. I think it was some meme. Like, I didn't really get it, but I think he was memeing, so I didn't even get angry. Like, because if someone hits me, I'm going to get pissed, But I think it was some meme. Like, he hit me and then said sorry instantly, as if, like, because you can just use sorry and then you're allowed to, do it, it's okay if you just say sorry. So he just hits me and says sorry, and I'm like, fuck you, dog. And then he did it like 3 more times, and I'm just sitting there like, fucking what, mate? Like, really? And then his parent, this was funny as well, his parents saw him doing it, and then his dad is like, okay, I understand what's going on. And then his dad goes over to him and starts hitting him and saying sorry, and I'm just like, yep, fucking exactly, got him. So that was pretty funny. I enjoyed that. I was like, also it's just such a shit meme. Comes over, hits me, says sorry, and I'm like, the fuck? Alright, buddy. But yeah, his dad doing it was funny as fuck though. And then yeah, first in the morning we didn't do anything. Then I saw my host. I got so fucked. Every weekend I basically got screwed. I would only have free time when he was asleep for his like afternoon nap, which is in the afternoon. So I would work morning, very little break in the afternoon. It was like nothing. It was all like, basically I would assume that on Saturdays or Sundays I was working the whole day, like 12 hours, like 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. But I would sometimes have while he's napping, right? The thing is though, every single weekend we would like go outside to do something, and that would always be in the afternoon. So right around lunchtime when I'm supposed to have my break, it'd be like, oh, we're going outside. And I'd be like, fucking hell. So yeah, I saw my hostman packing a bag, and I was like, oh, we're going outside. And then we went to, I wrote down the name in Chinese characters, and then I think I wrote the Chinese characters, or like I got them, and then I have an English translation that I don't know if it's right, but it's Phuket Shui Shan Park, which was like this dinosaur park, I think, that had like a bunch, from what I remember, it had like a bunch of dinosaurs and it had a bunch of stuff going on. Yeah, there was lots of, there was also like a Frozen ride or something, I don't know, there was a big park, like an amusement park sort of, and they had dinosaurs and rides and all this stuff. So we had lunch there, watermelon and other snacks, pretty chill. And yeah, then we went, okay, I'm remembering stuff, right? We went to this frozen wonderland where it was basically, you went inside this thing and then it was like fucking cold. It was like, which was good because I was super hot, right? But then it was like -degrees, I guess, because there was hella ice. And then, yeah, you chilled in there and we played inside this like, no, yeah, played inside this big ice place and there was like a ride and stuff. And then Ricky slipped and fell directly on his face, and then his dad just started laughing at him and was like, haha, don't cry, like, and then threw snow at him, and I was like, okay, sure. Half the time I don't know how to handle situations, because like if it's my kid, I know how I would handle it, but when it's not my kid, like if someone gets hurt, because like there have been times where like the kids have gotten hurt where I just laughed my ass off, and then I can just tell the parents don't think it's funny, they're like, it's not so funny, and I'm like, oh fuck, sorry, it's not funny, I never laughed. And there are other times where I do laugh and they also laugh. I'm like, okay, so it's okay to, like, it's hard for me to tell when it's a good idea to laugh. Like, I would say a 5-year-old slipping and falling face first into like ice or like, because it was not really good snow, right? So it's mostly just ice. I'd say that's not so funny, but hey, I mean it depends, but yeah. Anyway, we played inside some big playground. Oh, that was so shit. There was this huge playground, and I had to run around, and I was so tired because I was tired from the day before, like I just said. And then in the afternoon, when he's napping, I also take a nap sometimes because I need it to sustain myself. So I was super tired, and then I had to run around, and it was awful. And then we eventually finished at like 6 p.m. being in the park. And then they were tired and sleepy in the car. Oh, this was actually a good experience. Okay, so it was 6 p.m. and they were really, they fell asleep, both kids. And then we went to this really good restaurant. It was like the best restaurant. It was like a buffet that had everything. There was so much dessert, so much food. And Ricky was asleep, so I could just focus 100% of my focus and energy on eating. And there was so much good food, dude. Oh my god, what a rush. I remember it like it was yesterday. I think I even like got the fattest smile, like when the parents, I was just like, it's like Christmas, but better. Like, oh my god, that was so good. And then, the parents made me try some lobster thing. They're like, try this. I'm like, no. They're like, try it. I'm like, okay. And it went alright. The thing is, I don't like the taste of lobster and like prawn and stuff. And then on top of that, when you're eating this lobster, it wasn't like a big lobster, it was the small ones. So they're called something else, but I'm an uncultured swine, so I don't know the names of them. But they're the small ones, right? And you rip the head off, and then you you've destroyed this whole animal, and you've gotten like the tiniest bit of like meat out of it. It's so fucking wasteful, I feel like. Same with crabs. It's like, also crabs are just a lot of work. You put so much work in, and then you just get fucking nothing out of it. So you get nothing out of it compared to the work. Plus, you killed some poor animal for nothing. It's like, I get angry when I have to peel oranges. I feel like that's an annoying task. But like, crabs and lobsters and stuff are on another level, and you're fucking an animal over, you know? So I'm not really a fan of that. And the taste is not, if it was like one very small thing, but the taste was just amazing, it would be, you know, worth it. But it's not. The taste is like so-so, and then there's so much work and you're killing an animal. It's like, yeah, I'm not a fan. But that food was so good. Oh my god, that buffet. Oh, a real Chinese buffet. Because in Denmark, when we go to Chinese restaurants, we also like eat at buffets, but it's, you know, garbage. So this was a good time. I promise. Got home at 9, so basically my work was over, which, yeah, I'd worked all day, so like the 12 hours. 12-hour grind. Being so tired too. But yeah, looked at photos and listened to music and organized my friend's USB. I had to give her all the photos. And again, it was till 1 a.m. So solid. Which brings us to the 2nd of July. What do you know? I woke up at 7 a.m. And for whatever reason, I was like briefly awake at 5 a.m. So I didn't even get a good night's sleep, so that's fun. And I don't sleep in the morning anymore. Because sometimes when I didn't have Chinese class, I would take the kid to school. I would wake up 7, take him to school at 8, go back to sleep. But now I was outside every day, you know, grinding photos and stuff. So I didn't have time for that. So yeah, basically, yeah. Went to... Oh, this was a day where we wanted to go rooftoping, but the agency had like an activity, and you kind of have to go to them. And also it was like, the last day my friend could chill with all the other au pairs because she was going home. And also it was the last activity I went to. I was leaving in, you know, half a week, I think. So, you know, it was good. It was a good experience. We went to a tea ceremony, and yeah, it was pretty chill. I don't know, there's not much to say. Like, I like drinking tea. I'm apparently bad at the tea ceremony. I don't know how to pour, I don't know how to do anything. I can drink it, but I don't know how to do any of the... Also, you have to do this thing where you have the tea and then you go like this with your hands. Let me mute my computer. That's annoying. You have to go like this with your hands, and then you need to like... Fuck, I don't even remember. I think she like bad and hands and... Dude, making tea is not as easy as it sounds, alright? Let that be known. But yeah, I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed the social aspect of being with the friends, but like the tea ceremony itself, we could have been drinking bubble tea for like, I'm not good at doing the fucking weird stuff and pouring the water. I just burnt myself. I don't have the skills, dude. I'm not. Yeah, anyway. And everyone had to be quiet, and then they were doing the traditional moves, so it's like, you're being quiet, you're not even socializing for a lot of... It's like, I don't know. And then anyway, after the tea ceremony, we headed to the Convention and Exhibition Center for the Dumpling Place, which is a classic, I think I've mentioned it before, classic Taiwanese restaurant that has dumplings and sesame seed noodles, sesame sauce, I don't know, and bubble tea. But the bubble tea there is really garbage, which is why me and my friend, we were like, why not... We're bubble tea enthusiasts, and like, we don't drink garbage bubble tea. So we went to Coco to get good bubble tea. And then when we got to the restaurant, my friend, like another friend, was like, oh, how does this bubble tea compare to others? I was like, well, I brought an extra one from outside, so it's probably not good, you know? Like, when you need to buy bubble tea from outside, it's probably not good, the stuff they have there. And I had to get the one they had there anyway, because buying a menu was cheaper than not. So I just ended up with 2 bubble teas, which one was like subpar. I can't remember if I threw it out, actually. I don't remember. But yeah. What else? No, I didn't get a second bubble tea. I got a passion fruit thing, and then I threw that out because I only drank half of it, and it was like, ah. But yeah. And then the noodles were really bad that day. I think if I'd stayed in China any longer, I would have boycotted the dumpling place, even though that was like the fucking au pair headquarters. But it just, the quality got so bad, I feel like. I don't even think I had it too much, because I feel like there's a lot of good food you can't have too much. I think the quality just got bad. Like the noodles were subpar. And yeah. Then anyway, everyone said goodbye to, I don't like mentioning names, so I'm not going to. Everyone said goodbye to my friend who I already mentioned like 3 times was leaving, the one that I did all the rooftops with. So everyone was saying goodbye to her, and I had already like talked to her, and I was gonna like see her tomorrow, the day after, just to hang out. And then, so I didn't say goodbye, but I still felt hella shitty. It's like everyone like crying and being sad. It's really sad in China, like, because you have these friends that you only know like for a short amount of time. I'm checking the clock, but you have these friends that you only know for a short amount of time, but you like become closer with them than other people because you're in this like meme situation together where like, because no one can understand the shit that happened in China. I can explain it to people, they're not going to get it, you know? Like, there were conversations where I would be like, oh, don't you hate it when your kid is like peeing in the car? Like, and then the others would be like, oh yes, that happened. Like, these are like dumb situations that if you try to explain them, people are like, oh, what the fuck? But in China, the others could relate and be like, oh, that also happened to me. So like, yeah, it's weird seeing all these people though, for short time, become really good friends, and then people leave. And there's always someone leaving, it felt like. Luckily, here towards the end of my stay, everyone was leaving. There was like a few that left right before me, and then a few that left right after me. But pretty much the whole squad that I was with left like around the same time as me, which was good, because it would have sucked like not having them. But yeah, I don't know. It's sad though. And then yeah, I went home and I thought I was going to get a nap, but then I don't know why, I wasn't tired enough to nap, I guess. So that was stupid. And then yeah, I picked up Ricky at 5, and then it was too cold and rainy to play outside, so we just played inside. And we ate dinner, and then we were too busy playing, so we didn't get to do the English homework. But I mean, if we're playing and having fun, I think that's okay, you know? What did I... Oh, I wrote, I get a ghetto Thai massage, yeah. We're playing in the bed, like fighting and stuff, and then I'm laying on the bed, and then I have both of them on top of my back, I think, walking on me, and I'm just like, ah, nice, this is like a fucking ghetto Thai massage by a Chinese person. So, that was fun. And then yeah, I got off work, and then I sat on my PC. In the living room. Again, because that's where I lived. Fucking hell, dude. I didn't have internet for the last 2 months. The worst part was, I knew I was leaving, like, within relative time. So I sort of just gave up. I was like, I'm not going to bother, like, harassing them to fix the internet because I'm leaving. Like, I can deal with it until I leave, basically. And I had 4G on my phone, so if I was in my room, I would just be on my phone. The biggest issue with it was that in the afternoon on weekends when he was napping, if I sat in the living room, then as soon as he woke up, he would see me and be like, now we're playing. And I'd be like, fuck no, I'd like to have some more time off, please. Whereas if I was in my room, I could sort of hide for longer, you know? But yeah, that was my living room situation. That shit was so dumb, I swear. Alright, 3rd of July. So this was the day my friend was leaving. So I woke up at 7, took Ricky to school, and then I headed to Huaguang, I don't know how to pronounce it, the checkpoint to Hong Kong to meet my friend one last time. Because yeah, so then we just, that was actually really shitty. Well, oh fuck, okay. There were a lot of things shitty about her leaving and like not seeing her anymore. But like, there was no bubble tea at the border. There was nothing at the border. So it's like, okay, what the fuck? There was like overpriced Pepsi and water. And then she had some leftover money and she was like, oh, let's buy a Snickers. And then they didn't even have Snickers. What? That's the only place in China that doesn't have Snickers. Like, I can understand there not being a bubble tea on the border because it was kind of like middle of nowhere, nothing there. Like, there was no shopping malls, nothing. But how can there not be like Snickers? Because there was a convenience store that sold Pepsi and water and stuff like that. But how can they like really? They had like shitty Mentos, and that's what we ate. And then yeah, I don't know. That was really shitty and sad. Basically, we just sat at the border, and the weather was fucking like garbage too. It was like the mood of the situation. And then yeah, there was just a lot of like sitting there being like, well, shit, this is depressing. Like, yeah. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that really. She felt garbage about leaving. I felt garbage about her leaving, and then I also knew that like I would be in the exact same position next week because it's really sad. Like leaving China is just so shit, you know. So I knew I would be in the exact same predicament like a week from now. Yeah, because I said this is my last weekly recap, but it's a week and a half. So yeah, I feel like I explained that, but yeah. Oh, so yeah, we just talked about stuff in China, and then I don't know what else to say. I'm just reading for shit. We talked like I don't know how long it was. It was like I guess it was like 8 a.m. to no like 9 a.m. to like 4 p.m. Then I got home. No, I got home at 4. Yeah. So yeah, she left. Sad times. Got home at 4. And this was so fucking shit. Okay, this actually pissed me off, or like made me. No, I think I was more angry than sad at that point. So I was really sad that she left, and it was really shitty, right? And then I got home, and then the second I got in the door, if I'd waited 15 minutes with going home, I would have been in the clear. But I hit the exact bad moment. So I get in the door, get home, and then mother is going out of the door, and then she's like, oh, do you want to go to Ricky's show thing? You know, he has a show at school. And it's not a question, it's like, come on. And I'm like, fuck me. And then I bought a bubble tea. That was the only positive, like, redeeming factor of that, like, fuck. So then I have to go to that show, which was with his dad, so there was no reason for me to, she didn't go. Dad went. And there was no reason for me to go then, basically, because it's him being, like, the parent, right? And then we get there, and it's not a fucking show. It's like a Lego building class that there was no reason for me to show up to. And then, yeah, the dad was there, so there was double no reason for me to be there. And then, again, my kid is the only kid, because I used to think that he was just a normal 5-year-old that just acts stupid and is annoying. But, like, apparently not. He was the only kid in that class that couldn't sit still, that couldn't listen, that couldn't do anything, like do any of the building. He'd run around the classroom being annoying. And half the time I'd be like, Ricky, stop, and I'd try and make him stop. And the other half of the time I'd be like, your dad is here. If he wants you to stop, he'll do it. Like, it's, you know, it's up to him to say the behavior's not okay, right? But it must be so embarrassing for the dad. I don't understand. Like, he has to have ADHD or something, and they have to, like, why would they not do something? I don't get it. But that was really bad, because I was already in such a bad mood and, like, so, like, sad and upset. And I get put in that 2-hour, like, classroom where I just want to die, and I'm just like, fuck. So that was really painful. That was not a good time. Ugh. So then I went home, and then I went to my room, and I put my bag away, because I hadn't been home. I went from like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., got in the door, and then I got told to go outside. And then my friend gave me a gift. I can show you guys. It's cool. Fuck, how do I do that? Ah! Look, this is like the best gift I've ever gotten, maybe. It's pretty up there on the fucking gifting scale. So, if you don't know, Peppa Pig is like... Let me close the door, by the way. It's making noise. Peppa Pig is like a huge meme in China. So, she got me a fucking purple shirt, because I guess purple's a cool color. It's a purple Peppa Pig shirt that says brother in Chinese. It says Gerger. It says brother. So, that is the coolest shirt that I own. But yeah, that's like the coolest gift ever. So yeah, she gave me that, and then yeah, I don't know, it was cool. Very happy. And then what else? Yeah, I don't know, that was like the highlight. That I was pretty happy about that. That was like, because I knew it was going to be some stupid shit, and then I opened it, I was like, yeah. But yeah. It's too small though. I would not give a shit. I would wear it to university, you know. But um, then I went downstairs and I played with Ricky before dinner, and then we had dinner, and then we went outside swimming, and I was so tired because I didn't get my nap in, because that was another thing. I was like sad, but I was like, fuck, I'm gonna go home and just sleep. And I got dragged out the door, so I didn't get time to sleep again. Like, if I don't get those naps, I'm just fucked. But yeah, finished work, and after reading to him, I went to my room. And then Ricky kept coming into my room, which was really fucking annoying. Because again, I was in a bad mood this whole day. I was like, ooh, I was tilted. So, and then he just kept annoying me. I was like, fuck, please. And then, I don't know what else to say. What else? I don't think there's anything else to say. Then I edited some photos and I talked to a friend in Denmark, and then I went to bed, and that's about it. And that brings us to July 4th, which, yeah, I woke up at 8 a.m. and then, oh, this was a fun day, I think. Why is this so short? The note is short. Anyway, we met at Walmart and we bought snacks in Walmart and looked at frames because I was going to buy my host family a present, but we couldn't find a frame. And then after Walmart, we just chilled around and we headed to Window of the World for lunch, which I've actually never been there for lunch. I don't know why. But we got there, chilled, it was so hot. And then we went to this food court area where I had like a really shitty pancake thing that I did not enjoy. And then I bought some milk tea from Thai Guy, but I didn't see the deluxe version until after I'd ordered. So I got the regular one with Oreo added for 17. And I could have gotten the deluxe like 10 out of 10 for 19. So I got fucked. So that was depressing. Then we chilled at Window of the World before heading to Hangzhou Bay, which is like the tech market, if you don't know. And then we went to the market we always go to, and I bought an extra phone screen protection, which since then I found out I got fucked over. I didn't get phone screen protection, I got like the actual phone screen part of the phone. So I don't have an extra phone screen, and now I'm like, I don't have a phone screen on my like thing. So if I drop it now, I'm in quite a bit of trouble. But anyway, then we went for like some other plaza, the SEG Plaza, the Seg Plaza, which I have a good photo of. And then we got lost in a maze of phone cases. It was really weird. There was 3 stories, and on every story, like every floor, there was just infinite amount of phone cases. That's all they sold, and you could get lost there. It was crazy. And yeah, then I got home at 4 p.m. and took a nap because, again, 5 hours sleep, dying. And then I woke up at 5:40 to pick up Ricky. And then I saw my host dad had called that he would pick him up, and I heard them come home like right after. But yeah. And then we played inside and watched my phone, and then we had dinner. And dinner was late, and Ricky took forever as usual, which is good for me because then I work less, I suppose. And then after dinner it was basically just swimming and then put him to bed. And then I chilled on my PC till 1, and then bed. So usual thing, basically. Alright, so 5th of July. I woke up at 7 to take Ricky to school, even though it was my free day, because I wanted to go clubbing. And then I wouldn't be able to take him to school on Friday because I'd be sleeping. So I got told to do it Thursday instead, and I was like, fine. So yeah, 5 hours sleep again. It's like fucking, that was the China classic, dude. I don't even know how I sustained it, because I really did sustain getting 5 hours of sleep for like 2 months. It was like, there were times where I was fucked, but other than that, it was like pretty good, generally. As long as you're outside, I don't think you need that much sleep, because you can just keep going. Because I was doing a lot of exercise. Well, you can call it, yeah, it was exercise. I was walking around so much. I'm walking, up and down staircases for the rooftops. So it's not like I was just doing nothing and being tired. I was actually doing a lot. But yeah. And then went to meet the others at Link City, and then we went shopping for weird Chinese snacks and candy, and got there 30 minutes early, so spent some time outside. It was way too hot. And then, yeah, met with like 4 people, and then we went to KL4, I think that's not a Chinese brand, it's like a supermarket, and looked for some frames and for Chinese candy, and then, yeah, we just wanted to eat a bunch of random Chinese candy, which I filmed it, and I think the video will come out eventually. Also, I am in the process of editing a video from Hong Kong, but everything is basically just slowed down. I feel like I don't have time to do anything, and I'm just useless as fuck. I'm really sorry about it, but I will upload the videos eventually, I hope. I just have to sort of force myself to edit it, but right now all I do is homework, I feel like, so I don't even know. And then I might have like an hour or two before I go to bed, but that's not how I edit. I can't just edit for like an hour. I usually sit down and I just spend like a lot of time on it, so. Anyway, we bought all of it. It was only 100 kwai, split between 4 people, so it was very cheap. It was like chips, jelly, random meat, like all these random snacks. And then yeah, we went to Civic Center because I wanted to see if there was a photo I could take, which I couldn't. And then we looked for frames, and we actually managed to find some, so I bought some so I could give my host family a present. And then we sat in the middle of Civic Center, which is just this area, and then we put all the candy out onto a table and we like set it up, and there was so many people staring at us because it's like 4 foreigners sitting at a table with a shit ton of candy and then like sitting there filming it, which I don't think the camera added anything to, honestly, to the weirdness. They would have stared regardless, but yeah. And then at one point these girls came over and were like, they'd done circles around us, and then eventually they like warmed up and they were like, hello, and we're like, yo, and then yeah. And then they actually came back a second time after saying hello, and they bought us like, you know, like this sugar that's been like burnt or whatever, and it's like turned into a thing. They bought us one of those, and then like strawberries with sugar, caramelized strawberries, I guess, as well. So that was really nice, but it was just funny, all the looks we got. And yeah, some of the snacks were quite good. There were some pea chips, some sweet potato chips, some spicy meat that was way too spicy. And there was a vegetable that was even spicier. It was crazy. And then, yeah, the girls I talked about, I already mentioned. They had pretty good English, but they were like very shy, but they were nice. And then we spent an hour or so eating all the snacks and just talking. There was way too much jelly, it was gross. And then we headed to Dongmen because one of my friends wanted to go shopping. There's also food there. And also the vibe and the atmosphere is just great at Dongmen. So I wanted to experience that one last time, you know. Then we had milk tea and had a late lunch where afterwards we ended up just chilling at this table for ages talking. And that was like, just thinking back on all these like experiences, that was such a good time. Like just sitting at a table and just talking and just like, I don't know. That was such a good conversation. I had so much fun. Then we headed out and looked at food. Eventually we found these like Chinese burgers, kind of like the ones in Xi'an, but different, and they were okay. And then some stinky tofu, which is like famous. And it wasn't awful, like people hype it up to be like, oh, it's so gross because it smells like shit, right? But it didn't taste bad. I didn't enjoy it. The others liked it, so maybe it's just me, but I didn't think it was bad. I just thought it was meh. And then we also tried scorpion, which it didn't have much. They were too small, and then the flavor was like pretty good. And then because we're a bunch of foreigners, we had so many like people. We had like a crowd watching us. It was so funny. And then we went outside for a bit, and then 2 of my friends tried getting random girls and guys' number on WeChat, and they were successful, so that was fun. And then we were supposed to go clubbing, but I was dead, and my other friends were tired, and it didn't really pan out, so we didn't go clubbing. I was at home at like 10, and Ricky was still awake, and I think the parents were happy to see me home because they didn't expect it. They thought I was going clubbing. So they were like, yay! And then I talked for a bit, and then I went on my PC till 1 a.m. just editing photos and chilling, you know? And then that brings us to the 6th of July. I woke up at 7, took Ricky to school, went out, and I had to send a postcard. My friend who left China made me send her postcards, which I actually bought postcards to send myself, but I was too lazy, so I never got around to it. And now I had to send her postcards, which was the hardest thing I've ever done, I swear. I've never had so much trouble. I spent 2 hours walking around the neighborhood looking for how to send them. Google Maps didn't work, and then I asked people for directions, and then people pointed me in different directions, so it was just so fucking bad. But I found a place to print photos, because I wanted to print photos to put in the frame that I bought to give as a gift. So I got that done, and it was way too expensive. I paid 60 for 4 small photos. That's fucking ridiculous. That's even bad for Danish prices, I think, and this is China. I don't know how, I don't think they ripped me off. I think it was just really dumb. I don't get it. I was confused. And then I went to Miniso and bought these, phone rings because, need extra. This one is shit. I need to put a new one on. This one is, broken. Also, fun fact, my friend told me that in Germany, these cost, 12 euros. In China, these cost, 5 kwai, so less than, 1 euro. You know? So that's just fun. So I bought 5 packs of those because I knew I would need them. And then headed to the agency to meet my friend for her goodbye party. Sadly, it was only me, her, and one other person for some reason. I don't know why. I think everyone else was just busy with I don't understand. But yeah. And then we had a pancake at the pancake guy and the bouncer lady, and then we chilled in the agency. And then we headed out for a bit. And I found a place to mail the postcards. And that was amazing, because it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do, you know? So I mailed those postcards, and then we walked around for a bit and talked, and then I had to say goodbye to her. So that's another goodbye. And yeah, that was really fucking shit. So yeah, I said goodbye to her. And then yeah, we said we would meet again, because I think all the people that want to, in the China squad, are gonna meet for a trip. We're going to travel somewhere together. So I look forward to that. I will see people again, hopefully. And then, yeah, what else? Got home, and then I chilled a bit before picking up Ricky, and then let him play outside for an hour, and then we ate dinner, and then at 7:30 we went swimming until 8:30, and then I put him to bed. And that was basically the day. Alright, so now it's July 7th, it's the Saturday. I was told to wake up at 7:30 on a Saturday, which is fucking ridiculous. That's too early, that's dangerous. But I did it because they told me to. We relatively quickly went outside, and I was being told we were going to the zoo, so I was like, okay. But then instead we were walking instead of taking a DD, and I was like, huh? What's going on? But then we ended up going to a restaurant in the morning, which was amazing because what's better than eating breakfast at a restaurant? I don't think I've ever eaten breakfast at a restaurant, except when you stay at a hotel. But we actually went to not even just the ghetto one. We went to a proper restaurant with a nice table, nice atmosphere, and then we ate breakfast, and it was good. What's it called? There was glass noodles, bread, spring rolls. It was really good. And then Ricky ran around and was obnoxious, and I kind of had to deal with it, but it's not new, you know? And then yeah, afterwards we went to the zoo. I don't have much to say about the zoo. Quality-wise, it felt okay. Animals weren't treated as shitty as in some zoos. The Hangzhou Zoo was fucking awful. I think Beijing Zoo was decent. But yeah, it was okay quality-wise. And yeah, we walked around and saw animals, and for whatever reason, he was throwing a fucking temper tantrum and being angry at his mum. And I'm not sure why, but I'm glad that, I'm not the only one he has these weird tantrums on. He told his mum, and he said it in English too, so he's like, I don't like you. And I just had a fucking laugh. I was like, damn, I'm not the only one who gets that. And then yeah, also in the car he tells me that he'll miss me and he's sad when I'm leaving. And that was so hard, dude. For like the last week, he would constantly just tell me that he's sad I'm leaving. And I already felt like shit because I really didn't look forward to leaving. I was like counting the days, like being upset. So yeah, we walked around and we saw animals, nothing noteworthy. Like I liked the giraffes, and there was a big cage with a lot of, it's not called a cage, it's called like an aquarium, but it had like jellyfish. And then we had snacks, and then we saw this circus show, which was okay. They made like these bears do tricks, which I didn't know was possible that you could do that. But they made like bears climb up ladders and do all this stuff. And I couldn't tell if the bears were actually angry or just didn't, or happy or didn't care. Like it was really hard, because you know, you can be like, oh, animal abuse. But I couldn't tell. Like, they were just given snacks, and they didn't have anything like, because bears are also dangerous, right? Like, I think a bear can fuck you up, just like whack you. And I think they also have like scary teeth. But these bears had nothing on like their hands or their mouth. They had like, if they wanted to ruin someone's day, they could have, for sure. So I feel like they were happy bears, maybe. I really don't know. I was so like confused, because I see these bears like doing tricks, and I'm like, I didn't know you could make bears do tricks. And especially, like, because I've been to shitty zoos, like in Thailand and stuff, where they don't treat the animals well, and, you know, they'll put something on its mouth, or they'll, like, do, you know, so they don't get hurt. But these bears were just chilling. Like, if they wanted to ruin someone's day, they were more than welcome, you know? So I didn't know that was possible, that you could just tell the bear, hey, don't fight me, don't do something stupid, here's some fucking oranges if you, like, do a trick. Like, I didn't know that was possible. I was really, really impressed. And then, yeah, we saw another show, and the mum got me this fucking ghetto sausage. It looked like the ones that are, like, twirling on 7-Eleven for 5 hours, and you're just, like, for, like, longer than, and you're like, ew. But, yeah, she gave me it, and I ate it, and it was, like, a 3 out of 10 at most. I was like, oh, ghetto sausage. And then we saw another show with some dancing, some car stunts, and some animals doing stunts. And bears, again, dude. They were riding bikes, I think. It was... I didn't know you could do that. I really didn't know you could just tell bears to do stuff and they would listen. Like, that's really interesting. And then, yeah, eventually we headed home, and I got home super late, and I was so done. And we ate dinner at, like, 8 o'clock. I don't know, we ate so late. And then we didn't play after that. We were just done. And then I chilled in the living room, because I lived there. And then at 11 p.m. he came out and he wanted me to read for him, and I was like, it's super late. Like, big no, I'm not doing it. But I'm in the living room, and my room doesn't have Wi-Fi, so I have nowhere to hide or avoid him. And then he got his mum involved, because he threw a tantrum, and I think she was on my side, because she's like, this is ridiculous, it's 11 p.m., leave the meal alone. But then, just to be sure, I was kind of like, I can read one book for you, because I was trying to be nice, you know? And then he's like, nope, I want 3 books. And I'm like, fuck off! Like, this is not a negotiation, buddy. It's like being in debt, and then me being, it's like being $1 million in debt, and then me being like, you know what? Okay, you only have to pay me back $500,000. And then you're like, no, it's $1 million. Like, what the fuck, dude? So yeah, he does not have negotiation skills. I was offering to be nice to read 1 book, and he's like, no, we're reading 3. I was like, fuck off. So then I just left. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. You lost all the chances. And then, yeah, there was arguing, and I think his mum yelled at him a bunch, and I was like, fuck. I just said fuck, and I went to bed early. That's how I was so, like, done. I was just like, fuck this. I'm not even going to be in the living room. I'll just go hide in my room. And then, yeah, that was the day. It was fun. And that brings us to July 8th on the Sunday. Woke up at 9. We went to a learning center where the baby and the dad danced around in some room, and then I basically had to, I don't know why Ricky went, because he didn't actually do anything at the learning center. So I basically just had to keep him out of trouble, and he's fucking annoying, so he was always getting in trouble. He was crying a bunch because he stole toys from another kid, which is not the first time, and then I took them and gave them to the kid. I was like, fuck off, don't steal. Gave them back. And then he started crying because he couldn't share. I was like, fuck. These are all the things I don't miss about China. Jesus Christ. Having to fucking keep that nuisance out of trouble. Like, so bad. That was some hard hours. I don't even know why we were there. Other than, like, the dad and the baby. And then yeah, went home, had lunch, and then we went to Sam's Club, which is like Walmart, I guess, but more like wholesale. You buy in big batches, I guess. I don't know. Didn't really get anything good or interesting. I just looked, and then after that, we got home. I went to get a haircut, and then I went shopping for the Hong Kong snacks because I was going to Hong Kong. You know, to leave, to go home. I don't know if I said that. Basically, I decided that I would. Well, I didn't really decide. The agency also did. They paid my flight home, and it's cheaper to fly out of Hong Kong. So they're like, "You're flying out of Hong Kong," and I was like, "Yes," because I love Hong Kong. So any chance to go there is okay with me. But yeah, I bought a lot of souvenirs. I needed like baijiu, slippers, chopsticks, and yeah. Then I went to my room. Oh, this was so bad. I went to my room, and then I wrote like a goodbye letter for the family because I wanted to write something, you know. So I wrote like this really nice goodbye letter where I told them, you know, thanks for having me, all that, and I cried so much. I swear I've never felt so shitty. That writing that letter was like the hardest thing I've had to do, other than going to the post office. It wasn't even a post office, but yeah. Other than mailing those letters, like writing that letter was so fucking hard. Oh my god. Thinking back on that, I wrote it down what I have, but I'm not gonna share it. It's personal. But yeah. Basically, I wrote it down on a piece of paper in English, and then I wrote it down in English as well on my phone, so that I could send it to them, so they could translate it to Chinese. But yeah. And then I basically spent from 4 until like 6:30 hiding in my room crying. Because, I don't know, I just felt so fucking bad. That was really bad. And then Ricky was away. He was doing something with his dad, so I don't think it mattered that I was like not there. But I didn't care. I was like, if they came, I'd just be like, I feel like shit, I'm sorry. You know? And then we ate dinner, and I don't know why, but I think the parents thought that this was the goodbye dinner, and that we were leaving, or that I was leaving, because they'd made all my favorite food. Like the mum had asked, what do you like? And then she'd cooked like all of my favorite dishes. So they thought it was and we had like red wine, which we don't do on an everyday basis, you know? So I think they thought it was the goodbye dinner, and they asked like when I will leave tomorrow and stuff, and I was like, I'm not leaving tomorrow, and they're like, oh. So that was really awkward. We had my goodbye dinner on my not last day, but yeah. And then at night, I packed my stuff. Oh, I packed a package because I wanted to send that. Because I had too much luggage, so I wanted to send one of them and then have a suitcase, but yeah. And then on the 9th of July, there's a fucking bug here trying to fuck my shit. On the 9th of July, I went to the agency to say goodbye. Woke up at 7, took Ricky to school, and then I tried figuring out how to send the package. And my mum was saying it would cost $3,000, which is ridiculous. Then I tried looking up what excess luggage would cost if I bought like extra luggage. And that would cost 4,000 Hong Kong dollars. So that was also crazy. So I was so stressed out if I couldn't send the package home. Because I had so much stuff to bring home. Like it was crazy. That's what happens when you're there for a year, you know. Also, I just brought too much clothes to China. I threw out a bunch of clothes. And I didn't buy more clothes. A lot of my friends bought a bunch of clothes in China. I didn't buy clothes. I just threw out old clothes. But yeah. Then I called the airline. And they said that I could have 30 kilos with me. Which was like my, you know, luggage. But I thought that was in like one suitcase. But I could have as many suitcases as I wanted, as long as it was under 30 kilos. So I had this huge box that I was going to mail off, and I basically just counted that as a suitcase, and they said that was okay. So that was good. I still had to throw away like a bit of stuff, and I even had 2 kilos of over luggage, but they didn't care. I think it's because it's a good airline. It's Qatar, so. But I was still stressed out about it, you know. But anyway, it was less stressful than like shipping. And then you also have it with you instantly when you take it on the plane, you know. You don't have to wait for it to arrive. But yeah, I went to the agency for my goodbye. I talked to my friends chilled. I did like the goodbye video. It was very short, which the agency was mad about. Not mad, but they were like, come on, you can do a long video. You do long YouTube videos. And I was like, I'm not in the mood. I just want to die. Like, fuck me. So bad, dude. The last 3 days, I don't know. Leaving China was so shit. And then when I said I was leaving, I was like, I'm leaving, my dudes. Like, I'm not coming back. Like, a lady from the agency was like, oh, you're leaving? Shit. So she'd forgotten to give me my, like, certificate. So she had to go get that made. And then, I went to a Japanese restaurant for goodbye lunch with, my friends. Food was pretty good. Then one of my friends left, which maybe I was going to see her in Copenhagen eventually, which didn't actually end up happening. She went to Copenhagen, but she went like at the start of last month when I had just started uni, so I couldn't see her, so that sucked. But yeah, she left, and then I chilled before saying goodbye. Eventually, everyone left except everyone was leaving. 2 of my other friends were also leaving same week as me. But yeah, it was super sad saying goodbye to everyone. Also, one of my friends was the Dutch guy that I just spent like a week vacation with. So saying goodbye to him also sucked because like we'd had so many good conversations and just such a fucking good time, dude. Week-long conversation in Chengdu and Yangshuo, which I have really good vlogs from that. I swear, I filmed us eating dog for the first time. Like the content, oh dude. Not only do I have a good vlog, but it was such a good vacation, and I consider him like a really good friend. So yeah, saying goodbye to him was also really shit. Fuck. And then yeah, me and one of my friends were left, and we just walked around a mall and talked about how shit leaving would be, and how we didn't want it to end, and which that friend, coincidentally, I'm in talks with her now, about maybe I see her soon, so that's really good. But yeah, I don't know. It's so fucking shit saying goodbye to everyone. But yeah, I said goodbye to her, and then I went to the agency again to talk with like the manager lady, or I don't know what to call her. But yeah, talked about China with her, and then I talked to my Chinese teacher, well, my old Chinese teacher, about what the agency could improve. Talked about my host family, like tips for the future au pair, stuff like that. Which, just as a side note, the future au pair has come, and he's already left my family because it was too much for him. Which I don't blame him, because Ricky is like annoying as fuck, and the work can be too much also. I feel like I had good weekdays because I didn't have to like show up till like 6. Whereas other people would have to pick up their kid at like 3. So I had good weekdays, but my weekends were awful. And he arrived for the summer holiday and like an extra trip, so he got screwed. But yeah, he already left. But yeah, I gave tips for future au pair, stuff like that. And it was really weird saying goodbye. Like with friends, I mostly just felt dead inside and not so sad. I was like dead. I was just like, fuck, my stomach hurts. I'm just... But saying goodbye to the agency felt really weird and sad. I don't know why, it was different. But yeah, I said goodbye to all the teachers there and all the people working there. And then I went home, picked up Ricky from school, and we played outside for a bit. And then we had the goodbye dinner, but I think they thought that it was the day before, because dinner was basically the same as yesterday, but with no wine and not as many photos being taken. So after dinner, I told the parents to gather around, and I gave them their present, which was like a picture frame with me and the grandparents and Ricky. And then I gave them the goodbye letter, and the mum could understand like a little bit. She was kind of reading it, and she could read that like I said something about the baby always saying car, because that's the only like English word he knew. So she could understand a little, like she laughed at that. And then I sent it over WeChat so they could understand all of it. And then, yeah, they were excitedly reading it together. And they smiled a lot while reading it. And it was super cute and really nice to see. So that was fun. I'm tearing up, fuck. But yeah, that was really nice seeing them all like read the letter. And then they gave me my present, which I'd kind of spoiled it the day before. I accidentally walked into a room while they were making it, but I didn't know like the complete magnitude to what they were doing. Basically, they gave me so much candy, so much tea. I swear, like half of China's fucking like candy supply I still have Chinese candy, and it's been 3 months. Now, granted, I don't, because when I eat candy, I usually eat like the whole bag in like very short time. So I have to not open it to not eat it. But I still have Chinese candy. I messaged my host mom the other day, like, oh my god, this bag of candy is so good. And she's like, you haven't eaten it yet? It's been 3 months. I was like, yeah, I know, but I can't eat, like. But yeah, I still have Chinese candy. And I knew that was going to happen too with my luggage. I was like, I can't pack too much because I'm going to get so much from her. And sure enough, I got 6 kilos. It sounds dumb to say. I got 6 kilos of candy and tea. And then she also gave me some combs for like my mum and sister and stuff. And then they gave me the most important present of them all, which, you know what? Fuck it. I will show it on camera. But basically, they gave me a book, like a photo album of the family and me together. And I read through it, and I basically just broke down, like, crying. So I haven't, like, cried that much for a bit. Like, it was 2 really hard days, dude. Writing that letter was awful. And then, like, seeing the picture book was, like, just as bad. Like, that's probably, like, the most thoughtful gift I've ever received, I think. Like, I don't know. I was, like, reading through it. And Ricky's just like, why are you crying? And I was just like dead inside. It was really like nice. It's the nicest thing I've ever received, I think. I'll show it. Wait. Fuck. So basically, it's this. And I don't know if I put my hand here, do you get this like scale? I'm sorry this is really bad filming, by the way. So it says, our love story, I think. I sort of assume that's what's going on with the hearts and stuff. That's just what I'm going to call it. I think it actually says something else, but I don't know. Oh, I don't want to open this because then it's going to fuck me. Basically, I'll just give you a general gist of it. So they took photos. They also asked me for my like photos on my camera, which I thought was really weird, but then I found out it was for this. But basically, they plastered like our family. Then there's a photo of like the whole family and my dad and stuff when he visited. There's a photo of me with the kids and the grandpa. There's just the photos of like, again, me and the kids. You have photos from like my birthday, so we and grandpa and grandma. And then you have me, grandparents. This is from Mao Ming. And this is brother's birthday. Again, my cake. Cut the cake. Like, they just made such a big deal out of it. This is like, Mao Ming Festival celebrate. Like, there's so much. So they've written little notes and just written... So, yeah, there you go. So, yeah, that is basically, like, the best gift I've ever received, I think. Like, I don't know, there's just so much in it. And it's like, it's so thoughtful. Like, I couldn't have thought of anything I would want more. And it obviously took a lot of time. Like, it shows they really cared, you know? It obviously took, like, I'm just going to leave it here. It took a long time and stuff. I don't know. I really, really appreciate it. So, there you go. So that was my present. And yeah, so basically, just did that. And then cried a bunch and that was it. And then afterwards it was pretty chill. Usually we don't talk that much because the communication is just like, I don't know Chinese. And, sorry. And they don't know English. But today the dad wrote a bunch on the phone. That's how we usually communicate. And he asked me a bunch of questions, and we discussed a lot about like my future, what I think about Ricky's English, and we just talked a bunch, and it was really, really nice. And then I went to bed. I bought my last bubble tea. Wait. Oh no, they went to bed, sorry. I was like, I didn't go to bed. The family went to bed. I bought my last bubble tea, packed my suitcase, which was over luggage. Then I had to throw stuff out and reopen the box and deal with it. It was a mess. And then at 1 a.m., the parents came out because the baby was sick. And I was obviously still awake, trying to figure things out. And they were like, and I was really stressed and felt like shit. And then went to bed at like 1:30. I don't know when I slept, maybe 2 or something, maybe later. And then next day I woke up at 7:30 to basically I would take Ricky to school and say goodbye. And yeah, that was really shit. Like I woke up at 7 and I slept like 4 hours or something. I was really fucking stressed and like it was so fucking bad. But yeah. Felt sad and bad, and then the parents had made noodles and fried egg because I asked them to. They're like, "What do you want for breakfast?" I was like, "I like noodles." And then I talked with Ricky, but I didn't really know what to do or say, and I don't think he fully understood I was leaving. I mean, he's young, right? And then, I don't know, it was so shit. I eventually took him to school, and that was also just sad. We spoke a little, but not much. It was mostly just being depressed. And then I gave him like a huge hug and I said goodbye. And then we entered the school and I said goodbye again. And then I just walked home, sad. And then yeah, I'd fully packed and was ready. And the dad would order me a Didi, which was convenient to go to the border so I didn't need a metro. And yeah, I sat in the living room with the baby for 30 minutes just talking and again just being sad. But he understands so much, it's incredible, dude. Like, you could tell him to go to the garbage bin with, like, rubbish, he would do it. You could tell him not to do, like, he understood so much. Like, it was crazy. It's this 1.5-year-old that can just understand English. You know? It was really fun. But yeah, I just sat and watched YouTube videos with him and talked a little more with the parents. And then at 9:20, we all went outside and waited for the taxi. And I got a photo of us and said goodbye, and then I cried again. It was like, fuck, it was so bad. And the dad didn't cry, but you could like tell that he was like really sad. I haven't seen him like that. Like he had like a lot of emotions in his eyes. It was I don't know. It's nice when you see like, cause it's obviously like you're happy, but you're sad at the same time. I don't know. I really am happy with my time in China, and I really appreciate the family as well. And I've told them that, you know, they're really good people. And then yeah, I took the taxi to the Fujian port, and that was like the longest ride of my life. Fuck, there's so much to think about. And then yeah, got to the border, crossed it. They looked at a lot of my sketchy visas, and I was like, oh no, just let me through. And then, oh, this was so dumb. So the metro has gates that open, and I put my luggage through, and then it closed before I could get through. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll jump over it. So I jump over it, and as soon as I do that, the security comes over, and they're like, you what, mate? Like, you got a ticket? And I was like, yes, I do. I'm just stupid. And then they checked it, and everything was fine. And that was my entrance to Hong Kong. That was like the first thing I did. Then I took the metro, which was so uncomfortable because I can't show you it now, but I had this huge box, which was the one I was going to plan on mailing, and it was just huge and uncomfortable to carry. And then I ended up at Jordan Station, And I spent 15 to 30 minutes trying to find like my hostel, which was right next to the station. I just couldn't find it. And I was asking people for directions, and they sent me in the wrong way, which was so fucking like. If you don't know where to go, just say I don't know. Don't send people in the wrong direction. It's so bad. I got there at like 1, so basically the day is already like going fast, you know? And then yeah, the guy let me in, gave me a key. I couldn't check in, but I didn't care. So I just instantly went to. So I said before that like the agency made me like take the plane out of Hong Kong, but I could have taken the plane on the same day. Like I could have gone here, taken the plane, and gone home. But what I decided to do was I decided to spend 1 day in Hong Kong, like a full day. So sleep in Hong Kong for 1 night. So I took my stuff to the hostel, and I had 1 night in Hong Kong, like 1 day, like a full day, because there was this yellow building that I'd seen on Instagram, and I really wanted to get a photo of it. That's legitimately the main reason I did it. I just wanted to photograph this building. So yeah. And then also I have my friend from Hong Kong that I wanted to meet him one last time and say goodbye and hang out with him. But yeah, those were like the 2 main reasons. Also, I'm in love with Hong Kong. It's crazy. I'd forgotten how much I loved Hong Kong, because you go there every month to get a new visa, right? But I went right before I went to Japan, so that was in March maybe. Then I went to Japan, and then I got a 3-month visa in Japan, so I didn't need to go again. And then I went here in June, right? So I hadn't been in like 4 months, because I spent a month I hadn't been in like 4 months, and I'd forgotten how much I loved Hong Kong. Like the atmosphere and the vibe is just amazing. I love it. I love the busyness. I love all the people. I love how there's these really ghetto buildings that look run down and old, and then there's still like really modern architecture as well. And there's also beautiful nature. Like Hong Kong is just amazing. I really, really love it. But yeah. I went to the yellow building that I wanted to photograph, and I got some shots at ground level with some taxis and stuff. And then I went to the rooftop across the street, which was open for some reason. And it was 9 stories up. It was pretty easy. Took some photos, although I would have loved to have photos with a person in it, but my friend had to go to work during the day, so that sucked. And then I walked around Mong Kok, which is the most densely populated place on Earth. So that's just a fun fact. But yeah, Mong Kok is really nice. And then I had to buy Magic the Gathering cards for my friend's birthday, so I did that. And then I had the green creaming soda that I like, that I have only found in Hong Kong, so that was cool. And then I went to Lai Tak Tsuen, I don't know how to say it, LAITAKTSUEN, 3 words, which is another like famous Hong Kong photography spot. The buildings were featured in the movie Ghost in a Shell, but that's not where I knew it from. I just saw it on Instagram a lot. It's this round building, and the inside looks really cool. So I went there, photographed that. It took me forever to find, but I just walked around the neighborhood, which was really nice. And yeah, there's so many cool buildings and dense apartments, and I really liked it. So I didn't mind walking around, you know. Found the building, and then it said like no trespassing or photos, but it's like, yeah, I can walk in. So I just walked in when someone else did. And then I didn't find the elevator, because I'm stupid. So I had to walk up 26 flights of stairs, which was exercise. And then yeah, I got some good photos, and then it was like 5:30 p.m. So then I went to meet my friend at 6:30. And then I decided to walk because it was only a few metro stops, and I really just liked the atmosphere of Hong Kong. So I just walked it, and it was nice. And then went to Macca's, bought a mango sundae, and then used the Wi-Fi. And then we met at 7, and we instantly hit the rooftop above the Macca's, which was really like easy, but not a good roof. So it was like, yeah. And then we headed to the next rooftop, which was another roof he knew. It was so sketchy. We took an elevator to the 28th floor, then a fire escape, but from 30 to 31, the fire escape went through like a restaurant with a rooftop bar, so you had to, like, you go through the fire escape, and the fire escape stops, and then you have to come out of the fire exit. You have to come out of it, walk through the restaurant part, and then keep going. And if the waitresses or waiters see you, you obviously, like, get told you can't do it, you know? So we had to dodge them. We ended up getting past them, and then there was this rope, like these shitty chains that say can't go past. And my friend told me, be quiet and careful. I'm like, yeah, it's fuck no shit. And then I managed to fall on the rope and make a bunch of noise like an idiot. The exact thing I was supposed to not do, and I was like, fuck no. Then we got to the top part, and there was like a vent with a vent at the top, ladder, but then the ladder was boxed in by this like wooden box with a door with a lock on it, so you couldn't get in. But we found out you could just climb over the wooden structure and then test if the vent was locked, which it wasn't. So we just climbed over the wooden structure in and then up the ladder, up the vent, which wasn't locked. It was hard to open the roof vent though, but we did it. And then yeah, we got onto the... Also there was like a notebook where you could see when the guards were patrolling the area, so that was weird, I guess. I guess rooftopping in Hong Kong is a lot harder than in China, to be honest. But yeah. We started shooting, and there was a great view of the harbour, but overall the rooftop itself wasn't that good, especially at night. I've actually seen pictures of the rooftop since then, shot during the day, and the photos are so much better. So it's a shame we only could get it at night, but I mean, that's when he was free, you know? But yeah, the rooftop wasn't that good, didn't have that much potential, but we made it, and we were hyped, so we got some photos. And then, we were on these metal floors, 3 floors, like, you're on the roof, then there's a metal, you climb up ladder, there's a metal floor, climb up another ladder, metal floor, climb up another one, metal floor. And at the bottom of it, where I said we started climbing up, there's basically, under it, there's like a rooftop bar, where the restaurant is a part of, where everyone is drinking outside. So if they looked up, they could basically see us, and we could see them, and we could hear them as well. I don't think they could hear us, maybe because there was more noise down there and music, and I don't know if they could see us. I feel like they could. And then at one point, I swear, this is the worst thing. It's like me being clumsy, but also not my fault. My friend left his he wears glasses, and he took them off, left them on the ledge of the roof, on this very thin edge, and it was dark, and I couldn't see them or remember that they were there. So I accidentally kicked them off, and then luckily for me, they didn't fall off the roof onto the street, which would have been like a 35-story drop, and like probably, could that kill someone? I guess. So that was really lucky. They fell the other way, but they went like, you could just hear them fall, and you could just hear this duk, duk, and I was like, fuck. We were lucky that they didn't fall into the rooftop bar, because, you know, then people would get hit by them and like be like, what the fuck, what's happening? We were worried though, because it made a bunch of noise, but it didn't seem anyone heard it. And we searched for the glasses, and as soon as my friend lost his glasses, he was like, I'm super blind, I can't see anything without my glasses. And I was like, why would you take them off then? Come on. But yeah, and then I went down, I told you it was in like 3 metal floors. I went down another level, and then I could crawl on the side of the building. I don't know, there's like scaffolding, I don't really know how to explain it. I could climb on that, and then I had to climb above the area that was rooftop bar, where people could look directly up and see me. So that was like Mission Impossible, like super sketchy. And then, yeah, I was way too close to the rooftop bar, but I was on this railing on the side. And then, I'm glad I'm not fat, because otherwise I would not have been able to squeeze through there. And then I managed to find the glasses, just going like this, just searching. I found them. And then, yeah, I crawled back and gave him his glasses, and it was the biggest sigh of relief you've ever heard. And then yeah, there was a small celebration, and we were happy, but after that I was just too stressed out. Like, that made me so because I'm already like on edge a little bit. You don't want to get caught, there's a rooftop bar under you, blah blah blah. But after that I was just so stressed out. We got some more shots, and then we were debating long and hard if we should do a feet pick off the edge. The problem with doing the feet pick was our feet would be off the edge, and right below us would be the people at the bar. So if they looked up, they would see our feet 100%. So we debated long and hard on doing that, but then we were kind of like, let's just do it fast. Who looks up like this when they're at a bar, you know? So we got the feet pick, and then we decided to leave. And then I'm clumsy again. So we're on the wooden box structure, which is like 1.5 meters above the ground, the one we had to climb to get in the vent. So we're on that, and my friend told me to be careful. Then first, I'm trying to climb off it, which is, it's pretty high, so you can't just jump, right? And also that makes noise. So then, first I'm trying to get down. First my phone falls out of my pocket and my screen protection just shatters and it just goes boom, and it makes so much noise. I was like, fuck, we've been heard. And then I fell right after it. I didn't fall, but like jumped down, and I made a bunch of noise. So I just made so much noise getting down. Like, if I was my friend, I would hate me. Like, he's such a nice guy, and I'm surprised he wasn't more like angry or annoyed with me. It was so bad how clumsy and how much noise I made. So yeah, so stupid. And it's especially bad for him because if we ruin the roof, it doesn't matter for me. I'm not coming back. But for him, he only has these roofs he can use, you know? But yeah, we got to the fire exit at the rooftop bar, and then we got into like a herd of drunk people, and we just were on our phone and we walked out. So it was super successful. We made it, and it was good. And then after that, we basically just chilled in the area, and we got bubble tea, gongcha, which actually tastes better in Hong Kong than it does in China. And it was only 20 RMB, and in China it would be like 13 or 15, so it's kind of similar price. And then yeah, I said goodbye to him. I really enjoyed hanging out with him. I only hung out with him 3 times because he lives in Hong Kong, I live in Shenzhen. But yeah, he's super fun and nice. And I also filmed this day, by the way. This day it will all be in a vlog. And then I took the metro home, was home at 11:30, and then I transferred photos and talked to my parents and went to bed at 2 a.m. So that was a really long day. I'm not gonna lie, at the start of the day when I was just saying goodbye to my family and like crying and being in the taxi, I'd only gotten 4 hours of sleep, I was stressed and I was sad, and I thought it was just going to be like such a shit day. But after actually getting outside and enjoying Hong Kong, it was a really good day. I really enjoyed it, hanging out with my friend, taking all the good photos. It was a good day, even though I had to say goodbye. Alright, so I think that is the end of this recap. So like I said, this will be my last weekly recap, and like I said, I still have so much footage from China that I need to upload, so don't worry. I will upload more videos of my adventures in China, and then I also want to do like a montage, like a Hong Kong montage, a China montage, and maybe just some other videos using the footage. I also have footage from Japan that I don't know when it'll ever see the light of day. But yeah, I don't know. And I can also keep making videos about China, like post videos, just like talking about what it's like being an au pair, tips and tricks, like stuff like that. I know this video has been super long, I don't actually know how long, but if you did watch until the end, I really do appreciate it. It's crazy you'd watch a video this long, but I do appreciate it. But no, I don't think I have anything else to say. My last week was like pretty... I feel like my last month in China was my best month. And that's why I felt so sad leaving, because I didn't feel like I had hit my peak yet. I felt like I was still on an upward trajectory of everything getting better and more fun. And yeah, that's why it sucked. Like even my last 2 weeks were just so good. But yeah, the last week was just filled with saying goodbye and feeling shitty. But yeah, I don't know. I will definitely come back to China. I already have plans of going to, like I want to go with my family to Zhangjiajie for sure. That's like a spot I didn't have time to go to. And then I want to, you know, visit my host family again in Shenzhen, and I want to visit Hong Kong again, and also my Hong Kong friend. Those are places I definitely will go. Guangzhou is also on my radar, and there's also this other place that I can't pronounce. Zhangye or something. It's like a desert. I'd go there. And then, but yeah, the family trip I think will happen. And then I also have ambitions of traveling with my my friend, the girl I did all the rooftoping with. We want to go to Shanghai and like give it another go, basically. So I want to go to Shanghai again eventually. And then I might be able to, with my university, study abroad, and if I get that opportunity, I would do it in China, I think. And I don't even mind living in Beijing. Like, Beijing is not preferable, but I would still, like, just being in China would be amazing. So, yeah, it's not the last time that I will be in China. So, I hope to come back soon, and I miss it, like, I literally miss it every day. It's been, like, what did I say, it's been like 3 months now. I legitimately think about it, like, every day, and I miss it every day. And I talk to my host family, like, pretty regularly. And all the China people I also miss. Like I said, I didn't actually mention that. My friend who left, I mentioned her in this video, she came to Denmark like 2 weeks after I came home, and we hung out for like a week, so that was really great. And then there was the friend that I didn't get to visit in Copenhagen because university started. And then there's another friend who might be coming to Denmark she's down to meet up, so I'm going to hang out with her soon, hopefully. And then the rest of them, I just hope to see them all in the future sometime. But yeah, definitely will. But anyway, I don't have anything else to add. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, it's been a long one. I appreciate everyone for sticking around. And yeah, I will see you guys with more videos in the future, hopefully. Peace.